So morning, our discussion was till this particular point, and some technical problem came, we stopped it. I'll continue from here. Like so, as usual, this was the piston. It is at rest. This is a piston. Usually that rest. I'll release this from rest here. This is a ball. This is that tube. Find this one. So when it comes and collides here, so when the ball comes and collides with the piston, so initially at rest, they'll collide. Inelastic collision occurs. The ball will rebound with a speed v1. Let's assume the piston will acquire a speed v2. Now, because of this velocity, the piston starts moving down. So as it starts moving down here, so how the friction or say the resistance force by the walls of the tube on the piston will be upward. So here, so that the same diagram what we have now. So here, what actually happens is like the ball after this will be the situation, and how the friction should act here, that F, or say like a resistance force, better you can call. And the weight mg will continue to the weight of the piston. This will be acting. Next again, what will happen to ball, and because of this, the friction F, the resistance force F. So what is the state of the piston? It will undergo retarding motion, and the ball starts ascending. Then again it will come and collide. So every time the ball, when it collides with the piston, what it will do? It will give a part of its kinetic energy to the piston. And what that kinetic energy of piston will consume that? The resistance force. So like that, what happen? With every impact, what happen? The ball will continuously lose kinetic energy to the piston, and the piston will lose that kinetic energy to overcome the resistance force. So finally, what you can expect? Finally, what happen? The ball will have almost zero kinetic energy. Will agree? The ball will have almost zero kinetic energy. Then finally, what should the piston? Piston also finally should come to rest. So along with the ball and the piston open, finally they'll come to rest here. So they have descended height. So here is asking that particular no. Look at how far will the piston eventually move down in the tube. So let's take that distance as y. So in the diagram I indicated. So let this be the. So now look at is there any forces acting between the ball and the piston? Is there any forces acting between the ball and the piston? Yes, there'll be forces acting between the ball and the piston, and that force what happen will become internal force. There'll be normal contact also. Okay, clear. Then there'll be normal contact also. Then the weight mg of the ball also will act, and the normal contact in turn. I'll show like this. So what is the work done by the normal contact? It should be zero, no? Net work done by normal contact with zero. And what about the wall will do work here? Work done by the gravity on the ball and the piston, work done by the resistive forces. So work done by the normal contact, net work done will be zero. Say how many collisions it occur, it doesn't matter. It just asks finally how far the piston will undergo displacement. So finally, what is the state of piston come the ball? They are at rest. Who will balance that weight? Again, the resistance force. Let's how to calculate that distance y. So look at the first and the last diagram. So what is the overall equations can you write? How much the ball m1 has descended finally? H plus y. Or m1gh you write it. Then together the ball and the piston will have a displacement equal to y. So the decrease in potential in the ball and the piston should be equal to work done to overcome that resistive force. Okay, you can begin like this, m1gh first, m1gh plus, then again from here, the displacement, I think I'll write it completely, h plus y. This is what decrease in potential of the ball plus decrease in potential of the piston. How much it is? m2gy. That should be equal to work done by that resistive force. So what we have to do, we have to solve for y, no? Everything is given. So this will be m1gh f minus m1g minus m2g into y. So this will be m1gy, no? So m1 plus. Okay, look at this will be our final answer. So actually maximum students will go for mathematics way here. So looking at the problem, no need of that one. Finally is asking at what distance. So himself we called either resistance force or frictional force. And if telling that it's more than the total weight of the ball, if F were less than the total weight of the ball, again at this position also finally it would have been motion. If telling it's more than, so finally here what mean, the frictional force will adjust itself so that it balance the weight of the ball and the piston. It's like a different types of forces will come. Okay, I'm bringing now the pseudo force into the picture.
So once, could you scroll up, sir?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And now read this one. Very good question. So just the idea of the pseudo force will come into picture for you. Now look at there is a wedge, no? You can see in the diagram, there's a wedge. There's a block. Between the block and the inclined surface of the wedge is mu. That is what 0.2, and it is kept on smooth surface. And it's one of the best problem for students to work out rather than teacher to discuss, for students to work out. Read the question and try to analyze what possible method you can bring to solve this problem. Look at what all is asking. Work done by normal contact force acting on the block. Total work done by internal friction between the block and the wedge. Total work done by internal normal contact force between the block and the wedge. Mechanical energy dissipated at the interface between the block and the wedge. It's asking almost everything in the numerical. Check once condition tan theta greater than mu or less than mu. The problem, you have to proceed from there. Tan theta definitely greater than mu, no? Then if I don't move the wedge, what happened to block? Block will slide. So I'm accelerating the wedge. Then because of this acceleration, the wedge block may be at rest with respect to wedge. That we are supposed to check it, no? Is it block, is it at rest? How to justify this one? Again, for what acceleration, the block will be at rest. So you have to go back to the pseudo force concept. We have discussed few problems. So instead of analyzing all, let's assume that the acceleration will not be sufficient so that the block will be at rest and it will slide down along the incline and get into the problem. See, like he's not asking velocity. If you were asking velocity, what you would have done? You would have done just like resolving the forces acting along the incline, perpendicular to incline. Then with that forces, what happened? You were supposed to get the acceleration. From acceleration, you would have got the velocity. But he's asking something work done. For work done, what are needed? the displacement of block and the displacement of wedge. Can we determine that? Yes, we needed displacement. For what interval of time? T equal to 0 to 1 second. So let's get into first the acceleration part. You recollect we have done such problems in the laws of motion chapter. So there's a block in. So what are the forces that will be acting on it? Mg sine theta, normal contact, frictional force, then also a pseudo force. I'm describing the motion of the block with respect to wedge, and also on the wedge there'll be friction. You have to be very careful. Then normal contact also on the wedge. These are the forces that are acting. Then let acceleration of the block with respect to wedge be AR, and acceleration of the wedge is A naught. That is given for us. What is AR? Acceleration of with respect to wedge. Acceleration in what direction it is? Along the incline. This inclined plane. So let's write expression for that. Mg MAR equal to Mg sine theta minus F minus MA naught cos theta. Value of M 2 AR 2 into 10 1 by root 2. This should be mu n minus m. This is 2 into 5 1 by root 2. What about the normal contact? So separately we'll calculate normal contact. Normal contact should be equal to n minus mg cos theta. I'm writing in the top corner cos theta minus MAR MA naught sin theta equal to 0. Perpendicular to the incline in this direction. MA naught sin theta, normal contact, mg cos theta. I'll show that mg cos theta. Okay, no. So let's calculate the value of n. N will be 15 root 2 will come. 2, 10, 1 by root 2, MA naught 5. Yeah. 15 root 2. Check anybody? Is it okay?
15
Yes, sir.
15 root 2. Okay, yeah. Now that value I'm going to substitute here. So this will be, then I'll get the AR. So this will be 2 AR. This will be 10 root 2. Mu is how much? 0.2. There's no other way. We must calculate all these things. So I'll get the value of AR as root 2 meter per second square. What is this? Acceleration of the so this will be acceleration. This one. So acceleration of the block with respect to edge. So let's calculate now. What is the displacement of the block with respect to edge? I'll scroll down. Displacement of the block with respect to wedge. Not. Let's keep this much here. So let's calculate XR. What is XR? Displacement of acceleration of block with respect to wedge is, with respect to wedge, AR is AR. Similarly, XR will calculate. What is XR? Displacement of block with respect to y. So what is XR? I can write it as AR t square by 2. In what time? In 1 second, because that is the question given. No, everything with for the interval 1 second only. I'm doing this one. So this will be 2. This will be 2 1 square. Why 1? Because that was the time interval given for us. So this will be 1 by root 2 meter. So we have some enough information now. Let's calculate the displacement of wedge. Displacement of wedge with respect to ground. Let me call that as xw. So what is xw? A naught t square by 2. A naught value is 5 to 1 square. So 2.5 meter. Okay, all these values are there which are going to help us a lot. Because we need work done, no, I need displacement. Without displacement, not possible. So with this now, let's get into the displacement of block with respect to ground along x-axis. Displacement of block with respect to ground along y-axis. Those things are to be calculated. Then I know what are the forces acting along x, along y. Then we can work out here. So there's the initial background, what we had in laws of motion. So let's go for displacement of block with respect to ground along x-axis. I'm writing in short like this only. Along x-axis, this should be equal to displacement of block with respect to wedge along x-axis minus displacement of wedge with respect to ground along x-axis. Will I agree this? This is relative motion. No? Displacement of block with respect to wedge along x-axis is equal to displacement of block with respect to ground along x-axis minus displacement of wedge with respect to ground along x-axis. The basic relative motion. So what is xbwx? Displacement of block with respect to wedge along x-axis. How much with respect to wedge? xr. How much along x-axis will be xr cos theta? Component of that you're going to resolve. So I'll give one diagram so that will be easy for you. This is what xr. This is theta. This will be theta. This will be the directions. No. Now, what is the displacement of block with respect to wedge along the incline xr? Along the displacement of block with respect to wedge along x-axis, xr cos theta, I should write. I'll take this direction as positive, towards right as positive. This we don't know. Displacement of wedge what pen is towards right, that is x, xw. Solving this, I'll get xbx is equal to xr cos theta plus xw. What is value of xr? 1 by root 2. So this will become 1 by 2. xw we know 5 by 2. So this will become resultant 3 meter. Okay, fine. No. What you should call this xbx as displacement of block with respect to ground along x-axis. Similarly, we'll write it xby displacement of block with respect to ground along y-axis. Is it wedge moving along y-axis? No. So therefore, what is xby? You can write it as directly xr sin theta only, because the wedge is not moving along y-axis, and we know what is xr value, 1 by root 2 sin theta 1 by root 2. Total will be 1 by 2 meter. Okay, we know all the things. So I'll bring the diagram. Looking at the diagram, we have to write all the equations for the work done, everything. It's so that there's a mathematical part what a student must had idea. Now looking at this diagram, you have to write down all the possible equations. Okay, we'll have all the information in hand. So xby we got it. Xbx is how much? Xbx is 3 meter. Xw is how much? Xw is 1 by root 2 meter. Okay, now you get into the problem. Problem is not over. Now what happened? You have to write all the possible equations. What is the question asked? Displacement.
XW is 2.5.
Huh?
XW is 2.5.
Sir, XR is 1 by root 2.
XR is 1 by root 2, no?
XW is 2.5.
XW is 2.5. This is a. Yeah, okay. So WXR is 1 by root 2. Okay, fine. And now, look at this diagram. We have to write work done by all the forces. So first we'll do one thing. Is asking the work done by the normal contact force acting on the block. So look at the normal contact is acting on the block. N sine theta, N cos theta. Shall I resolve? Both the component of forces are doing work, no? So first case, first option I'm getting it. Work done by normal contact on the block. Tell me what I should write. N sine theta will act towards right. N cos theta will act vertically upward. N sine theta will act towards right. N cos theta will act vertically upward. So therefore, N sine theta into xbx is the positive work. Then N cos theta into xby. We know N, we know theta, xbx, all the values. Substituting this, solving, we'll get 37.5 joule. Getting the idea now? This is. Similarly, next part of the question. Total work done by internal friction between the block and the wedge. Total work done, internal friction. So friction on what all is acting? It is acting on the block and also on the wedge, no? The friction is acting on both on the block as well as wedge. So how to get this one? So here again, I'll get into the thing. Now it is asking net work done by the friction on the system. The meaning is like this, the second option. So for the second option, work done by friction on the block plus work done by the friction on the wedge. I'll break up. The friction does work on the block and the friction does work on the wedge. So what is the work done with the friction on the block? Again, I'll break up that along x, along y. So F cos theta will act towards left and the displacement of block xbx towards right. Therefore, negative sign. Then similarly, F sine theta. Why negative sign? Because the friction will act opposite to displacement of the block. Okay, then work done by the friction on the edge. How the component of friction, you see how it will act. F cos theta. Look at this part. F cos theta. And what is the displacement of wedge? It is towards right, no? So therefore, what is work done by the friction on the wedge? I'm putting bracket terms separately. So this should be F cos theta into xw. So substituting all the friction force, everything, no? So this will end up with minus 3 joule. If you want to cross verify afterwards. We are
Sir,
Sir,
can't we write work done by frictional force on block as frictional force into XR?
That will be, what is XR? XR is a displacement with respect to what? With respect to wedge, no?
Yes, sir.
We wanted with respect to ground.
Okay, sir.
Okay, this is about the work done by the, for second option, this explanation. Similarly, it's asking the total work done by normal contact force between the block and the wedge. Total normal contact force is asking now the total normal contact force. What do you mean by that? Let's check it. Total normal contact force. So again, I'll resolve it like what we did earlier. No, work done by normal contact force on the block. We know it. Work done by normal contact on the block, that we know it, plus work done by normal contact force on the wedge. On the block, how much it is? 37.5. On the wedge, how much it is? N sin theta will act opposite to displacement, so therefore it will become negative. Minus N sin theta into xw. Xw we know, sin theta we know. So the normal contact is equal to what earlier we calculated, no? The normal contact (15√2). Normal contact will be 15√2. Substitute all the values and see how much. Anybody value? This will be N is equal to 15√2. It's there, no? 15√2, 1/√2, xw 5/2. Displacement of h, it will be 5/2.
It is 0, sir.
It will come 0. Huh? Okay, yeah. That one. So net work done by the normal contact will be 0. The last option. Mechanical energy dissipated at the interface between the block and the wedges. Is asking mechanical energy. Huh? Mechanical energy dissipated. What does it mean? What are the dissipative forces here? What are the dissipative forces? The friction only, no? So that work done by friction is what? Mechanical energy dissipated. Dissipated means lost as heat. Work done by friction, what happened is lost as heat. Work done by normal contact, 0, that one. So the decrease in mechanical energy, what will happen is where it has gone, convert into heat. Who will do that? The friction only. So the fourth option is nothing but how much it is. It should be equal to 3 joule only. What do you mean by mechanical energy dissipated? Mechanical energy dissipated at the interface between the block and the wedge. So what is the force? What is the force that is acting at the interface between the block and the wedge? Friction only. The frictional force only. So work done by friction is nothing but what the friction will do will convert mechanical energy into heat, and it's over. Permanently converted heat. You cannot get back. What do you mean by dissipation? Dissipation means permanently it is converted into heat. We don't get back and it's lost. So work done by, I had to write explanation. Work done by friction is converted into heat. So I'll write it lost. We don't get back that one. So therefore dissipated is telling finish over. So that should be equal to what? Again, the option 4, what should be the mechanical energy delta E should be equal to 3 joule. Okay, again, it's testing your basics of laws of motion, nothing to do, no? So the displacement of block with respect to, already we have discussed, no? The similar idea once again is testing you. So what all you learn that in laws of motion, no? Whenever block slides on inclined plane and the wedge is moving, so that idea you keep in mind, because in every chapter that will get repeated. Okay, now we'll take the next one. Okay, mechanical energy dissipated. Able to understand the meaning of that? No. This will be very, earlier I moved with acceleration, no? So now I'm bringing this with a No. The same thing, a block of mass 10 kg is leaved on a fixed wedge inside a cart, which is moved with constant velocity. So the same situation earlier, it was accelerated motion. Now I'm bringing uniform velocity motion. So let me put the diagram properly. Now, what is the state of the wedge? As the cart is moving, the wedge will also be moving. So let these are the forces. The mass of the block 10 kg given. So he didn't say anything about further. So he's telling this is V naught. Work done by normal reaction is asking. So what are the forces they'll be acting along with it? I think we have to assume all the situations properly here. Now read the question and try to analyze the situation. So what are the forces they'll be acting? Let's begin with this. Mg sine theta, the friction force. The friction force on the wedge. The same earlier, it was moved with constant acceleration. Now I'm going to move the wedge with a constant velocity. Now what makes the block, the initial velocity of block with respect to cart is 0, then work done by normal reaction with respect to ground on the block in 2 seconds. It's asking only work done by normal reaction. No? He didn't say anything about the block will slide on the wedge or nothing. So shall we take it to be rough or smooth? So let it be rough, we'll assume it. So in the 2 seconds, what is the displacement of the wedge that we can calculate here? And n sine theta will act horizontally, n cos theta. So here tan theta is less than mu. So what is the friction force acting will be static. This will be then n sine theta. So what is the displacement of the block should be equal to displacement of the wedge should be equal to displacement of block, because the block will be attached with respect to wedge. So therefore, what is the displacement and what is work done by normal contact? We will work out all the things. Work done by normal contact should be equal to on the block n sine theta into displacement of block. Is that okay? Let me assume a situation like this: tan theta less than mu. The block will not slide with respect to wedge. So I'm getting this one. So is there in SU or my? Just picked up this problem. So what is the value of n? N equal to mg cos theta. So this should be equal to mg cos theta sine theta into V naught t. Work done by the weight. How much work done by the weight on the block? How is the displacement of the block? Horizontal, no? How the weight mg will act vertically down, it'll be 0. What is work done by the friction on the block? F cos theta into xb. So what is F? F should be static friction, no? Don't write mu mg cos theta. This is a thing. Sir, if there is no friction, what to do? So what I assumed? I assumed a condition that tan theta less than mu. If there is no friction, how we should do here the problem? Okay, got this. I just assume that this is the first case. A second case, there is no friction. If there is no friction, the wedge is moved with a constant velocity. What will happen to block? Block is acted upon by the mg sine theta and the normal contact. So it will accelerate. How much of acceleration will be g sine theta? Shall I scroll down? Because it didn't mention anything. So, and moreover, it didn't give any options. Just as some subjective question is there. So I am assuming the first case, this is rough and tan theta less than mu. So let's do one thing. Second case, tan theta, also like a mu 0. If mu is 0, what do you mean by mu 0? Smooth inclined plane. Let's analyze the problem like this. The wedge is moving with a constant velocity v naught. What are the forces acting on the g sine theta? Mg sine theta, here mg cos theta. So the acceleration of the block will be equal to how much? G sine theta, AR. So what is AR is equal to acceleration of the block with respect to wedge. And acceleration of the wedge is 0. So therefore this will become acceleration. Then you calculate the velocity of the block at any instant of time. It will be VR. Got this? So then relative velocity, you take application. From that you calculate the displacement of the block. So here XR equal to AR T square. AR is G sine theta by 2 T square. What is this? Displacement of the block with respect to wedge along the incline. With respect to wedge along the incline. Or just write with respect to wedge. I got the displacement of block with respect to wedge. Then what is the displacement of wedge in this direction? So again the same formula like earlier what we did. This will be XR. This will be then what is the formula? XR cos theta is equal to displacement of block along x-axis minus displacement of wedge along x-axis. So this we know XR g sine theta t square by 2 cos theta. This we don't know, and this we know x naught. What is x naught? X naught equal to v into t, because the wedge is moving with a constant velocity. So from this I'll get the equation. So this should be equal to x naught plus g sine theta cos theta by 2 t square, or v naught t, you write it. So this will be g okay, I got this one. So now displacement of block with respect to ground along y-axis. So what should be the value of that? I'll scroll down. xby should be equal to xr sine theta. Same thing like previous problem what I did. Now calculate the work done by the normal contact. I assumed it because it didn't mention anything. I just assumed two cases, tan theta less than mu, then mu equal to 0. So what is work done by normal contact on the block? There are two things are there, no? N sine theta into xbx, n cos theta into xby. Solve this, you'll get some value. Okay. There's a basic condition like this. So the block can be moved with a constant speed. So all the different situations will come.
Sir, can we also take a case where tan theta is greater than mu, sir?
Like previous problem only, pa. Why you are thinking something variety. Previous problem we did that one only, no? Tan theta greater than mu. Because I just wanted to give all the possible cases. In 2 seconds, sir. Okay. So let's go for next one. The very simple problem. The block and the wedge time being, you can say goodbye to that. Come to the next idea. Look at this. There's a light rigid rod. The system is released from rest. Find the speed of the block. Speed of the blocks when the block B is at a distance of 6 meters from the wall. So what is the wall? The wall is this one. I'll explain the system. Block A and B, they're connected by a light rigid rod. I'm introducing the rod concept because the tension in the string and the force in the rod are of different nature. Here, this is a rod. Got it, no? So what about how the force in the rod will play picture here is what I'm introducing, you know. So initial open, the rod is vertical and the system is released from rest. So how the block A is just above the block B, and they are connected by a string. Try to analyze the system. The moment I release, what are the forces? The weight of the block MCG will act. The weight of the block MCG will act. String will become taut. Then this tension acting on the block B, what it will do? It will pull the block B horizontally. As a result of this, the block B starts moving towards right. Then what happened to block A? Block A will not lose contact from the wall and it starts sliding on the vertical wall. All surfaces are smooth. If the friction is there, you would have mentioned. So let this be smooth. Let this be smooth. Okay, fine. Now he's asking what will be the speed of the blocks when the block B is at a distance of 6 meters. So what are the forces that are coming to picture? So let me introduce all the forces. All of you got the diagram first. I think there's something related to constraint motion only again. So here tension, weight mcg, tension, this is tension, the weight of the block mbg, the weight of this block mag. How to take the the force in the rod? I'm not using word tension. You have to be very careful. Force in the rod, just call it. Normally we say tension in the rod. Okay, no problem. At our level, no problem. But the tension in the rod, that force in the rod should not be called as tension. Loosely speaking, I'll call tension, no problem. Okay, how the force in the rod will be acting? The force in the rod will be acting. So here the force will be like this. What did this say? Force in the rod. If you want, I'll call reaction force R. I am just writing F, that one. This is the force acting, force exerted by the rod on the block. In the rod, it will be in this direction. Again, you'll get confused. This force is acting. That's why I'm not showing in the rod. We are not bothered. We're just bothered forces acting on the rod. What is this F? What is this F? Force exerted by the rod on the blocks. You may not agree with this. Just take pen and try to push there or take some pencil and try to push your hand. Definitely or pen. That pen or pencil or pen, it'll be like a rod, no? And you are trying to push. So it'll exert a force. Pretty sure, nothing big. Very generalized thing. You take pen or something or take some rod, anything, try to push your hand something. So what you'll do, it will just exert a force on you, no? And that is what F here. Okay, how to calculate the speed of them? So what is our question? We have to calculate this speed. They will have a speed VA, VB, VC. We have to determine the speeds. Kinematics, it was little bit easier. Mass based, no? law of motion came little bit about what the forces acting on. Now the work done. Really, you are in real physics now. You should be alert about all the forces. What about the work done by them? What is the displacement of block? This is a core chapter of the physics again. Now, is it VB equal to VC as they're connected by common string? VB equal to VC. What about VA and VB? Let this be theta. Any constant equation can we bring? So there's a rod, no? So what should be the rod? Rod is inextensible. So as the rod inextensible, what should be the speed of the rod? This end of the rod is VA, no? This is VB. So can you write any constant equation? So this should be the theta. This should be theta. This is the rod. Rod is inextensible. No? Length of the rod will not change. So therefore, the velocity of the ends of the rod, velocity of the ends along the rod must be equal because rod is inextensible. So directly I write it. VA sine theta should be equal to VB cos theta. How the end B of the rod will move horizontally. How the end A vertically down. Then rod is inextensible. This one. So from where this is brought? Constraint equation. Or write it. Constrained motion. Rod is inextensible. Keep it here now. Tell me like a work done by tension. Let's come for work done by individual forces. Because we have to apply, can I apply conservation of mechanical or no? So what is net work done by tension? Shall I write 0? It does negative work on the block C. It does negative work on the block C. It does positive work on the block B. And the displacement of block B equal to displacement of block C. So therefore net work done by tension 0. What about the normal contact? There are also normal contact acting. So where are normal contacts? Normal contact is there here, NB, and there's also normal contact, NA. What about the normal contact? Work done by the normal contact, NA 0. Why? Because like perpendicular to displacement by NB, it's also 0. Next, any other forces? The weight, work done by MBG will be 0. Work done by MA, the weight of the block A in block C, S will be non-zero. What about work done by the F? How to calculate work done by the force set up in the rod? It does positive work on the block B and it does negative work on the block A. Are you able to see? So how to show that? So I'll go for constant equation again. Work done by the force on the blocks. This will be here. What is the force that will be acting? F cos theta. Is it clear now? F cos theta on the block B into displacement of block B. It does positive work. And F, the force is acting here. So F sine theta into XA. Any relation between XB and XA?
Junior, 3 star అని ఉంది.
Here can I write constant equation XA sine theta equal to XB cos theta. Constant equation, what we wrote for velocities for displacement also. So substitute that. XA sine theta, what you can write? XB cos theta. So this will become 0, no? XA sine theta, what you can write it as? Cos theta XB. So what is work done by the force set up in the rod on the blocks will be 0. What are only forces doing work? The weight of the blocks. Then how to get, what is the displacement? Earlier length of the rod is 10 meter, this is 6 meters. So what can be this height? So shall we take 8 meter? So how much of height the block A has descended? 2 meter. How much block C has descended? 6 meter. how much block MB moves away from the wall, that much block C will move. No? So decrease in potential energy of block A and C is equal to kinetic energy of block ABC. So I will get into equation now. So MAG into 2, MCG into 6. This should be equal to MAVA square, MBVB square plus MCVC square. Relation between VA and VB, we have this, and this is a thing. This is a constant equation you are going to apply. We don't know theta, how to bring theta. What about theta? I think from triangle we can bring theta, no? This is 6 meter, 10 meter, this is 8 meter. So we'll get the theta value. Sin theta, cos theta will substitute here. So like this, the constant equations will come. So this is what, F is what? Force exerted by the rod on the block. It also does work, but net work done will be 0 here. Okay, I'll leave it. I'll leave it now. Fine. So I'll stop the class. Tomorrow we'll continue from here. Okay. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.